stupid meets stupid. Black woman shoots white man in Walmart over parking spot. Somebody type stupid in the chat room. Okay. And the most important thing that we need to know about this broadcast is that a man is dead after a Walmart parking lot dispute in North Lauderdale, Florida. And now the whole country is looking at one question: was it murder or was it self-defense? And according to the reports, this happened on Tuesday, June 30th, 2026, at a Walmart parking lot because located at 7900 West McNabb Road in Fort Lauderdale. And the victim has been identified as 62-year-old military veteran Bart DeGulli. I can't say the name. Bart DeGulimo. I'm just call him Bart, Mr. Bart of Lauderdale. And he was shot after what investigators say began as a parking space dispute and later died from his injuries. The shooter hasn't been publicly identified. What we do know is that she remained at the scene, cooperated with the detectives, and claimed self-defense. And as the report's circulating, no charges have been filed yet, and the case is still under investigation by the Broward Sheriff's Office, with the Broward State Attorney's Office expected to review it. Now, I'm going to state the obvious that most people are thinking but won't say it. It's stupid to get shot over a parking space. And it's even more stupid to shoot somebody over a parking space. And I know what some of you are saying. Uncle D, you should have more respect for the dead. You should say rest in peace, and I can say rest in peace, but I can also say that that was a stupid thing to die over. And both things can be true at the same time. A man has lost his life, and that's tragic, but it's also true that nobody should be dying over a parking spot outside Walmart. You shouldn't even be fighting over a parking spot outside Walmart. And I think that's fair to say. I think if the world was filled with people who just use common sense and instead of feeling like they knew everything, we wouldn't have a disagreement on this subject. Now, the other thing is, not only is it stupid to get shot over a parking space, it's also even more stupid to shoot somebody over a parking space. And I know what some of you all are saying, Uncle D, but she was black like you, right? I know, right? She's a black woman and you're black. So you're supposed to be on the black woman's team. Yeah, I understand how the racial team sport works in America. I get that. But being black doesn't mean I have to stop being honest. We can still call out stupid when stupid shows up in a similar skin tone. So let's just start there, okay? Why not just park somewhere else? Why not drive around the lot? Why not go to the back of the parking lot and walk an extra 45 seconds? Okay, how about that? This goes for both parties in this situation. You're not fighting over a parking space, okay? Because that's what you're doing. You're fighting over a parking space. A man is dead, and the future of this woman's life is in the hands of a local prosecutor whose decision to charge her with murder and seek a life sentence depends on how he feels on that day. You see? There's plenty of other stuff in the world to fight over. Even most of that, let's fight over something else more meaningful, okay? But fighting over a parking space is not something I think it's beneath me. And you all should think it's beneath you either. It's a little piece of pavement outside of Walmart. That's stupid. But no matter how stupid the parties are, because this case involves a black woman and a white man, we have to huddle up in our respective racial corners and support stupid because it matches our skin color. Just like fans in the stand heckling the umpire and the referee in the huddle trying to sway the call. We got people yelling murder. We got people yelling, stand your ground. People pretending that they already know the legal answer before the investigation is finished. But really, at the root of it, this is about where stupid meets stupid on a hot summer day in Florida. Look, one of the first lessons I learned as a baby lawyer practicing law in New Orleans, Louisiana, came from a case I had in city court. It was around 2003, 2004. I was appearing in front of an old school white Italian judge. His name is Judge Charles Imbernoni. And the insurance company hired a defense firm. They had sent this young white associate down to handle the defense of this car accident. Long story short, I got a judgment in my client's favor. And instead of first filing a motion for new trial, that young lawyer filed a notice of appeal. And when his appeal was denied, he then tried to come back and file a motion for new trial. And the judge said, you can't do that. It's too late. And in my brief, I pointed out just how stupid it was for him not to simply have read what is written right there in the Louisiana Code of Civil Procedure before filing the appeal. And the judge agreed. So Judge Imbernoni, he's now retired, he had a reputation for being a conservative, defense-oriented style judge. And I knew he probably wanted to side with the defense lawyer if he could, but he couldn't side with stupid. And that was no matter how much a person may want to help you, when you start hanging your reputation and your name on stupid people and the stupid things they do, you make yourself look stupid. And that's why when I talk to young lawyers, I train, because I've trained at least a dozen to 2 dozen. I tell them one of the biggest things you do in litigation is make opposing counsel look stupid. Because if you make them look stupid, nobody with good sense wants to stand next to them. Nobody wants to defend them. Nobody wants to attach their name to foolishness. So, with that being said, all of you who have already gone into your racial corners need to understand something. And a lot of you, both white and black and whatever in between, you look stupid right now. If your first instinct is she's black, so I'm defending her no matter what, you look stupid. If your first instinct is he's white, so she must be guilty, you look stupid. If your first instinct is she said self-defense, case closed, you look stupid. The law doesn't work like that. Facts matter. Timing matters. Distance matters. Reasonableness matters. And in the self-defense case, the final seconds matter more than everybody's racial emotions. Now, what we have here, since I'm going to talk about it, to try to throw some water, cold, ice cold water on this hot flame of racial turmoil that we have going this summer. That seems to be my job. Somebody typed my job in the chat room, right? Let's talk about it, okay? Florida man, somebody typed Florida man. Florida man shot dead after a Walmart parking lot dispute in Fort Lauderdale, North Lauderdale. Now, before we start acting like Florida just invented stupidity, somebody type Florida man in the chat room. I want you to be certain that this isn't the first time, nor will it be the last time that an American got shot and killed over a parking space. Stupid isn't confined to one state. It spreads like herpes. Stupid is not confined to one race, one political party, or one nationality. Americans are getting shot and killed over parking spots all over this great nation of ours. The killings are happening in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Missouri, hell, Colorado, my home state, the liberal bastion, the golden state, California, and of course, my beloved adopted state of the great state of Texas. We are just killing people over parking spots everywhere. Everywhere. And when we look at all these cases, the pattern almost always is the same. Somebody gets mad over a parking spot. It escalates. Somebody pulls out the strap, and bodies hit the pavement.